Hello. Like the hate in the Maltese poodle's eyes, this is the Discriminating Gamer. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Scooby-Doo, Betrayal at Mystery Mansion from Avalon Hill and Wizards of the Coast.
Just because I'm Frankenstein's monster, don't mean my name be Frankenstein. I was given a name by master, just call me Stu and everything's fine. But everybody just calls me monster. I don't have a place to call my own. I just keep on looking for my master. He let me in this world alone.
In Scooby-Doo, Betrayal at Mystery Mansion from Avalon Hill and Wizards of the Coast, 3 to 5 players are going to take on the roles of the iconic characters from Scooby-Doo. You, of course, have Fred, Shaggy, Velma, Scooby, and my favorite, Daphne. Essentially, this game is a riff on Betrayal at House on the Hill. And the game, it plays very, very similar to Betrayal on House of the Hill. You're moving around a house, you are finding clues, you're finding different things, and then suddenly a haunt occurs, a haunt triggers, and one of you becomes a traitor. So I'm not going to go too deep into the rules. You can see other games. I don't know that I did a video review of Betrayal at House of the Hill, but I did one of Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, so you kind of get the idea there. I want to talk about some of the differences between this and earlier Betrayal games. First of all, you don't have a haunt matrix. Now that's the big thing here. Now in the previous games, when you would get a certain card in a certain room, it would tell you who the traitor was going to be, and that's how it would trigger. Here things are a little bit different. At the beginning you have a few different mystery cards, and depending on how things pop up, it's going to affect the mystery cards, and that's going to tell you what the haunt is going to be, what number in the haunt book you're going to be looking at. But critically here, you don't pick, or rather you don't have a matrix that assigns a traitor, rather you collectively decide who the traitor is going to be. You have a few other things. When you take damage, it's not separated like it is. It's all just, you can take damage off of any of your 4 stats at any time. You don't have to confine it to one side or the other. You also have Scooby Snacks, which allow you to re-roll a certain die at certain times in the game, and that's something that's kind of new and helpful. And then, of course, there are some other things that are kind of scenario-specific, like you can only give and take items if it says so on a haunt. The monsters move according to their stats in the haunt as well. So there's a few little different things here and there. And the idea here is once the haunt triggers, that specific character, who that person was playing, Fred, Shaggy, etc., that person is kidnapped and captured by the monster, and then, of course, that player takes on the role of the monster. Now again, the haunts there are a tremendous number of haunts here, and you're playing these different haunts, these different scenarios, so every one is different. You're playing different kind of B-movie, horror movie tropes, but here, of course, they're in Scooby-Doo form. So given whatever specific scenario is given, either the monster, the traitor, or the Scooby friends are going to win that specific scenario and win the game of Scooby-Doo Betrayal at Mystery Mansion. So, the thing you need to absolutely know before you go into this game is, this is a kind of a family children's version of Betrayal on House of the Hill. And I hesitate to use the term, it's a dumbed down version of Betrayal on House of the Hill, but it kind of is. It's kind of, this game has a great theme. I love Scooby-Doo, I loved it as a kid, especially when Batman was on there. But it's very much a lighter version of Scooby-Doo, Betrayal on the House of the Hill. And it is for families, and it's for kids, because, one of the game's weaknesses is, if you've ever played Betrayal on the House of the Hill, and you play with somebody who has no idea what they're doing, and they become the traitor, it kind of can ruin the game. It can kind of ruin the fun. So you need to play that game with people that kind of are gamers, This one, you don't necessarily need to, because as I say, you pick who the traitor is going to be. I personally don't like that, because to me, half the fun of the game, of that beginning part of the game, when not a lot's going on, is thinking, is it going to be me? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be one of them? I mean, I really like that a lot, and you don't get that from this version. Also, too, like I say, there's things you can mitigate the die roll with the Scooby Snacks. You can do re-rolls, and that's fine. I got no problem with that. I think that's kind of a fun little mechanic they added in there. Generally, the game is, I'm not saying the first one was like super scary or anything, but it was thematic, and there was a real horror element to the first game, and that's kind of muted here because, as I say, you can tell they're trying to make it a little more family friendly. And again, that's fine, but I prefer the real thing. The game has a fun theme, and it's fun to play, but it's not as fun as the original for me. Now, I was talking, the guys I played all kind of felt the same way I did, but I talked to a friend of mine who's really looking forward to this game. He hasn't played it yet, but he's really looking forward to it. And he was excited because he's got some younger kids, and he thought, well, this would be perfect so I could play with them. Betrayal on House of the Hill may be his favorite game of all time, and he loves that, and he plays it a lot, but it's like they can't play with their younger kids because, well, they don't know how to play it. So he really is excited for this one for that reason. So I think this game really works as a family game. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, I liked it, and I'd play this if someone had suggested it, but I'd rather play the original Betrayal on House of the Hill or Betrayal at Baldur's Gate. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to recommend try it before you buy it. If you're looking for a good family game or a game you can kind of, I guess, introduce people into this game who are not real familiar with how hobby games work or how Betrayal on House of the Hill works, I think this is a great way to get into this game. I think it's a great way to get into this game. If you're like me, though, and you're an experienced gamer and you play Betrayal and you love Betrayal, I don't know that you need to get this one. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. We are The Discriminating Gamer, and have you ever seen a Maltese poodle? Like, I mean, live, up close and in person? They're ferocious. They're just...
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
Oh, he's doing it! He's doing it! I got him.